Yo, what's up guys? Terrell here on Terrell Game Vlogs, and here to do another kind of like monthly anime vlog to tell you how I feel about things. Especially because the Shonen Jump Alpha just came out today, and I got some new chapters, I got some shit running through my mind. And let's just go. So I'll start off with Naruto. I'll start with Shonen Jump stuff. First off, Barrage. I'm still enjoying Barrage. I love that Tamats has this ridiculous fear of women because it makes for some of the funniest scenes where the nigga, it's like his joke with not like, because I've seen, you know, if you've seen Mayo Chiki, you've seen characters that are afraid of women before. But I like Tamats' way of dealing with it in a shonen. He's like, the girl will be right here and he'll just be like this. Yes, I stopped you with my spear. And I'm like, it's like, really? Is that how bad it is? You turn away from the women at this point? Is ridiculous. Even like how Barrage is like slowly like, what the fuck? And then he slowly turns into the normal reaction, which would be to laugh at it like hell. And I think we just met Tico, I believe is her name, in the chapters. I think we're at chapter 8, meaning y'all are probably at 10 or 11, which means they actually have enough for the first volume. So when that comes out in America, totally getting that. I'm enjoying the hell out of that series. I like that little first part with like the rock orc, and that was cool. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Now for the new series that just appeared in Shonen Jump Alpha today, Takama-Ga-Hara. No, Takama-Ga-Hara. Takama-Ga-Hara, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm probably still mispronouncing. I don't even know what that translates out to. I'm surprised that name stayed the same. Which is essentially a manga about like the Takahama family, which is like this family of like strong badasses, but like the main character Takama, I'm totally fucking up names, but then again I've only read one chapter. I think the main character Takahama, and I don't know if this is a parody, but it was so fucking funny when I read it. Everyone else in his family is strong, and he's not considered to be weak, but the rest of his family has this whole thing about, you know, becoming strong, becoming champions, you know, conquering the world with their fists. The older brother got like this afro, like the second oldest, I think he has a shave head. I think Takama is like the middle child, and then you have the other two, which are like the younger ones, and they're all like badasses. They're always kicking ass and shit. And as I said, I don't think the main character's weak. I mean, we're shown that by the end of the chapter, but he has this dream, and I think this is one of the reasons why they picked this over the other one. I think the other one was called Assassination Classroom. His goal is to become a manga artist, and I was like, oh, you just wouldn't let the Bakuman spirit die, would you? As far as the first chapter goes, it was actually it was fine. The problem is it doesn't really stick out too much. Like, it looked way too simple. Like, it looks like a series that will get canceled fairly soon if it doesn't pick up pace, because it's literally like the fucking, he's like this character who is strong, but he doesn't necessarily want to be strong. He just wants to write manga books and inspire kids like he was inspired as a child through Shonen Jump, which I think is a nice goal. Like, I can respect the character's goal, and then ends the chapter where like apparently his right arm can wreck shit, even though he's paranoid about getting hit in the right arm because he needs that to draw manga, even though the running gag is that he can't draw manga for shit. It's like he's strong as fuck, but he can't draw manga for shit. So, manga's the first chapter. We'll see where it goes, but, you know, I think that's the biggest problem, is that it's not necessarily ridiculously compelling, but it's still, you know, it was a good first chapter. So that's the new stuff. The Rurouni Kenshin reboot, I've only read like 3 chapters because it comes out monthly. I think, yeah, 3 chapters, which is all the way up to the oh my god, what is his name? Not Swana. What the fuck is his name? Kenshin. Sanosuke. Yeah, there you go. Sanosuke. It took me a minute. Sanosuke Sagara. It's been a minute since I've like heard the Kenshin names. The last chapter I remember reading was like all the way up to his introduction, and I was like, wow, they're not trying at all here. Like, literally, it's just fights. Like, it's literally like Kenshin is like standing here, and he's like, there's a row of guys trying to fight him, because that's what it seems like. They're just sending one guy after another. Like, the fight between him and Sanosuke is about the same as it is in the anime, except for there isn't a continuation. Like, the fight just starts and ends in the damn at Karu's place, and then it just ends, and he's just like, okay, fine, I'll listen to wherever you have to. Like, it's like that whole thing about, it's like, I'll follow whatever you say. He seems more like a typical rival character now. And then I guess next up is Saito, because they show him next. The Kenshin reboot's alright. You know, it seems kind of like it's become a lot more stereotypical. It's like, oh, we're just going to send niggas after you now, because we didn't kill old dude with the cannon. You know, it just seems like whatever. I still prefer the original more, but this reboot isn't necessarily bad. It's just become less original in its own right, which is the only thing that sucks about it. So moving on from that, Blue Exorcist. Well, mind you, I can't even start Blue Exorcist because I got to read Volume 8, then start Blue Exorcist. But Blue Exorcist starts in Shonen Jump Alpha next week. So I'll skip over that. And now let's get to the Naruto and One Piece section, because that's the section most people care about. One Piece, I just found out the Joker's Don Quixote, or Don Flamingo, which wasn't too shocking because, for one, that one was the main theory most people had. Most people thought the Joker was Don Flamingo. Two, spoilers. YouTube is a fucking chapter reviews. I swear to God, some of my fucking people I'm subscribed to or friends with like these damn reviews. I end up seeing the thumbnails anyway, even if I don't watch the video. It's like God fucking with me. In terms of the Punk Hazard stuff, I've enjoyed what's been going so far. I still think of this as a setup arc, because they're making Sanji look like a complete badass, which indirectly makes Nami look like a badass because he's in Nami's body. Kinemon is cool, or Kinemon is cool. I like him. A lot of people are confused about. Well, I guess they were confused that week anyway, considering most of you guys are probably past this. But a lot of people were confused about why the fuck the Straw Hats looked like they were fine, even though they were knocked out the chapter before. I honestly can kind of obviously tell it's probably sleeping gas. Why sleeping gas? I'm not totally sure, because why would you use sleeping gas? And that means he intentionally meant not to kill them for whatever reason. So I don't know what Caesar's going to do with them, because apparently his intention is not to kill them. Don't know why. Don't know if that was just because. Also, the whole thing about his, was it Smiley or Smiles? A Smiley? His fucking slime apparently ate a devil fruit. Oda, you do not care about how ridiculous we get with this, because that either means a poisonous gas ate a devil fruit, or something fucking happened. Like, I'm missing something. And he ate a scorpion devil fruit, which honestly looks like a cool ass ability, but you know, it's not going to be used to its full ability unless Smiley's going to be around for a while, which I'm suggesting it is, because there's no point introducing this thing if it's not going to be a pain in people's asses. I mean, you got Sanji, Zoro, Brook, and Kinemon running away from it, so I expect it to be there for a while. Also, Virgo. Virgo is very interesting, and I like the explanation we got this week, at least for Alpha, where we find out that Virgo is a G5 commander, but is also a traitor, and works for Don Flamingo. And Monet works for Don Flamingo, and Law used to work for Don Flamingo, which makes me wonder if we've seen Law in previous chapters where Don Flamingo was brought up, like during the whole Mock Town arc. I wonder if he's there and I just don't see him, because I'm very interested now that maybe Law has been in the series before. Mind you, I'm not that dedicated to go look it up. I may at one point, but that was interesting. So at least we know the connection between Virgo and Law now. This has become a very interesting arc, and we already know we're going to Wano next, purely just because it's like you mentioned Kinemon, and you know, the whole missing children stuff, and Virgo being a traitor even at his introduction. Also, like his gag with the fucking, every time apparently he eats something, it ends up on his face, which means there will be random scenes, but we will see this nigga later on where he just has random shit on his face. And we know he has hockey. The thing I'm more curious about, to really boil it down, is I'm very curious about, and this is something to be stupidly curious, I'm curious to see how he eats things. And I know it's stupid, but it's like he had almost a full piece of hamburger on his face. I'm like, how did you do that? Did you just like do this? Or did you do this? Or where did the burger just splat across your face? And you like, but then again, it probably has something to do with his devil fruit ability, that he randomly gets things stuck on his face. Like, maybe he can phase through shit. he's doing. I mean, he did something in the law to knock him out. So there's got to be some deepness there. I don't want to spend this entire time on One Piece, but in terms of One Piece stuff, that was pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Now we move on to Naruto, which so Itachi's gone supposedly. He better stay gone this time. We heard that Naruto's going for another year and a half. It's going up until 2014, which may be bullshit because Oda's done the same thing where he's lied about how long it's gonna go. I can see him wrapping the arc up in another year and a half, but if it gets wrapped up like within the next year, it's gonna be like, what the fuck. As far as the Edo Tensei stuff and Madara, I think at this point Kishimoto has fallen into Dragon Ball Z syndrome. In terms of people wondering about whether the side characters will get any final show off, they might, but when they do, it'll be such a like pointless thing to see because it's like at that point it won't fucking matter. They show off all their new abilities and then end the series. That's what it's gonna turn into, and I'm not gonna really care that much because it's gonna be like one cool scene and then the anime ends. The Edo Tensei stuff about him breaking, honestly, Kishimoto made a plot hole. A lot of people are like, from what I saw, I even saw Sora's review of that chapter. He was like, he saved himself. He saved himself. I'm like, no. What he did is he broke the rules of his story to save a character. That's what he did. It's like, okay, fine. And it's not like Madara isn't believable enough to do that. It's just, it seems stupid that, we're going to have him break the Edo Tensei, give us a nice scene with Dan, because you could tell Kishimoto kind of forgot. I think he forgot about Dan and was like, oh, fuck. Gotta go get him. Shio had no reason to be brought back at all. That was stupid. The Seven Swordsmen were a fucking joke because they got defeated off screen. No, the Edo Tensei just seems really stupid now. And then the Madara breaking logic just seems ridiculous. Oh, and apparently Orochimaru might still be alive. And something tells me, and I'll be kind of mad if Akko gets killed to rebirth Orochimaru, just because that just comes off really, really dickish for Kishimoto. Oh, we're going to keep this character around and mention that she has an Orochimaru mark to pull something like Oda would do, where it seems irrelevant until it becomes relevant again, and it becomes relevant so the character can die and rebirth as Orochimaru as a logistic way. Because if Anko dies, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Legitimately, I'm be annoyed that you kill Anko for Orochimaru, which is what I think is probably gonna happen. Because you don't just hint that Orochimaru is still alive. Oh, and then Anko just happens to, and Anko's still alive, and she also just happens to still have that fucking curse mark. I expect Orochimaru to come out of Anko or Kabuto. Also the Kabuto flashback stuff. Yeah, I don't know how much I've mentioned from the last amount of stuff. So in terms of manga, that's all I got. Going on to the anime, I do reviews for Sketch Dance, so there's no point talking about that. Hunter x Hunter is still fucking interesting. I'm enjoying the fuck out of that. I know Lorio's probably going to be irrelevant for like the next 2 arcs, mainly because he's in this next arc, which you haven't seen him yet, but I know he's irrelevant because people keep telling me he's irrelevant. And then I know he's not in Greed Island, so I guess he comes back, and I guess the next arc after Greed Island is what, Chimera Ant? I'm not sure. I hope he does some stuff there. Kurapika stuff I actually enjoyed so much. Now that whole shit about that mole woman freaked me the fuck out. When I was watching Jay's reviews, he was like, oh no, that's a woman. I was like, what? The thing with the bald head and like the hair on the sides and the mole teeth and like no physical appearance that looks like a woman is a woman. What? And then like you have the other 2 characters, like the nigga who can like has haikus that create whatever he writes on it. I think his name is Bosch, and then like the girl's name is Bianca, which is like the kiss of controlling death bullshit, which seems really familiar to something I've seen before. They're cool characters. Kurapika's on his like Sasuke bullshit right now, even though technically it's Sasuke before Sasuke. Also, ironically, the day I'm reviewing this, I'm talking about this, it's Sasuke's birthday, so he can go down the fire 10 times over because it's his birthday. I swear to God, if there was a baby you needed to kill before the nigga was born, so I really do hate Sasuke. No, I'm gonna leave it alone. Hunter x Hunter's good. Surprisingly, I like Kurapika a lot more than I thought I would. The Gon and Killua stuff with the Heaven's Arena he getting Hisoka back for the punch, and that was cool. I like the shit to show off Mito and the whole mother idea. Like, I like the fact that he's like, listen, she raised me, she's my mother. I like that idea. Maybe it's because I didn't have a father around, so I kind of correlate with Gon on that. There's a lot of cool things I liked. So I have nothing against Hunter x Hunter. I have yet to come up. The only negative thing I have to say is that where's my boy Lelorio? That's the only negative thing about Hunter x Hunter I have to say. Nothing else. And even that, you know, maybe there's a reason. There's a reasoning behind it. He's a fucking doctor. He doesn't really need to be out there fighting all the time anyway. So we'll just see where it goes. Next week, I think we get the introduction of the Phantom Troop members, which we've been seeing in the endings and openings forever. And apparently, Hunter x Hunter's first movie is literally that arc, which kind of brings up the question: why animate the arc if you're going to make the movie the arc? It just seems like it's like you're making the arc twice. You're making a movie version and an anime version, which the movie version is automatically going to look better. Which also seems weird because they'll be coming out almost near at the same time. Like, what the fuck? But that's just me. But Hunter x Hunter is cool. Pokemon, I do reviews, so you already know my opinions on that. One Piece anime, I'm enjoying it. We took a break last week, so the last thing I saw was the party music, Robin's giant legs, and that whole suggestive scene that was avoided because Oda's an ecchi bastard. What was the other thing that was shown off that episode? Oh yeah, and the motorcycles, Frankie's motorcycles. I thought those looked cool. Once again, still need to catch up on the Naruto episodes and the Rocket League stuff because I've been dicking around. I attempted to watch some of the Naruto stuff, but I didn't even get through an episode. The anime's just kind of just made me not give a fuck. I'll probably pick it back up when we hit like the Mifune Hanzo fight because I like that fight. Yeah. Okay, what else? In terms of animes, is that all the ongoing stuff I'm watching? I'm pretty sure I'm already at like 20 minutes by now. 20 or 30. So, and the funny thing is the rest of this will be the seasonal anime. I'm trying to think if that's all the other... Oh, yeah. So the rest of it is seasonal anime. So the seasonal animes I'm watching is Binbougami Ga, Sword Art Online, and Campione. Campione, to me, ironically, the harem is the lowest out of the three for the seasonal stuff. It's not bad. I mean, I like the whole mythical god killing concept, but I feel like I'm watching Demon King Daimyo without watching Demon King Daimyo because I haven't seen that one, but it seems like it's almost the same exact premise. You kill a god and you become this badass and girls want to fuck you. Mind you, they haven't really pushed the harem aspect of it too much. The second episode kind of pushes it the most. The third episode was kind of in between. I like it. I like the fact that the main character is a lot more wary of the female main character. Also, I don't buy that shit with Erica in the second episode where she was like, yeah, she was like, yeah, I love you not because of I was ordered to, but because I genuinely love you. I'm like, well, you treated him like shit until he killed a god. Then you acted like he was your husband, and you slept naked with him, even though the last episode you couldn't stand that nigga just being in the same room as you, let alone the same bed as you, and you were wearing clothes, kinda, that first time. So I don't buy the Erica bullshit. I like the fact that he doesn't, but I don't like that concept of, oh, in order to communicate things faster to you, I'm going to kiss you. I'm like, no, that's some bullshit. And the concept is really what it sounds like. He kills a god, and there's a lot of mythical, ancient Greece stuff kind of mixed in with this. The Campione is what they call a god killer. He's fighting all these ridiculous motherfuckers, mixing with harem hilarity. So that's that for you. Campione is alright. I could already tell it's probably going to be like my least favorite out of the season. Sword Art Online is very weird. The concept of this is that you have this new game called Sword Art Online in their world. It's like the virtual reality stuff. This is the first role-playing game anime I've ever watched. I didn't watch Dot Hack Son. I didn't care for that series. It was very confusing and it just didn't look interesting. So I'm trying out this. I'm actually enjoying this so far. The whole concept is that they're in this game, and then the game creator means to tell them that, oh, there's a problem with this game. This is something I've created. If you take off the if your family and friends try to take off the helmet, or if you die in the game, you die in real life. The only way you can get out of the fucking game is if you beat the game, which you have to go through all 100 floors. I like that concept. It's an interesting concept. And I also like the fact that they did the whole. They changed their avatars to look like their real selves. I like that too. There's actually a funny scene with that where like there's these two guys in the back and one's like, "Wait a minute, I thought you were a girl," and he's like, "I thought you were 17." I thought that was funny. I still remember that from the first episode. Kuriko, I think his name is Asuna. I'm not totally sure. I've only heard her name like once, and she isn't even in the third episode. I like the character development with Kuriko. The only thing I have a problem with so far with Sword Art Online is I feel like there's not enough exposition. Like, there's a lot of scenes where I feel like there should be some type of monologue or some type of like sense of emotion, because like it's literally like it's for some reason it's going off of just straight emotional cues. And I don't think this anime is good enough to be doing some shit like that. So I feel like there's a lack of exposition. The characters are fine. Mind you, I only know 3 of them. Kuriko, I actually do like. Klein is cool. Asuna, we don't know enough about. And then those are the only 3 we have right now. Also, it feels like they're jumping levels so far, because they're already in the 50s. They're almost in the 50s right now. And you have 100 floors. What the fuck? I don't know. Maybe there will be like a little mini arc before we get to floor 100, because they're already in the 50s. It's ridiculous. And now we have Binbougami Ga. Binbougami Ga MVP so far. This one is the only stream by Funimation. Unfortunately, Funimation wants to be dicks with their streaming, meaning they started late and then like the shit disappeared the Friday it was supposed to come out, but I watched it today because they brought it back up. Binbougami Ga has a very simple premise. You have a character named Sakura Ichiko, who is like this really, really popular, talented girl. They even make him a Daka Box reference because of how relatable those characters are, which is the first thing I'm going to mention. This is a comedy anime, and there's so many fucking parodies. I'll mention some of them in a minute. But anyway, you have this character, and she's like really popular and cool and everything. She lives by herself with her butler, and everything's cool. The problem is that you have this poverty guy who notices that the poverty guy's name is Momoji. I forget her full name, but it's like Momoji is, I know it's her main name. Notices that her happiness is from what they call the happiness energy, and it's sucking out the good happiness from everyone else. Like, she's intentionally sucking away other people's happiness, but Sakura Ichiko is very selfish because she grew up by herself, so she has kind of a very I don't give a fuck about anyone else attitude. And Momoji's goal is to like suck out some of that extra happiness energy and disperse it to other places, so she's not just ruining everybody's lives. So the comedy is that they're like constantly battling each other to like they're battling each other because Sakura wants to keep her happiness energy because she's selfish. The only person she seems to care about is the butler, and I liked the first episode for that. It was cool. I mean, the whole gimmick of the show seems to be that as the episodes go on, Sakura will become more and more realizing the joys of life and making friendships and shit, which will cause her to become more of a better person. And you can already see Momoji is a very like lazy, I don't give a fuck kind of character. Over the episodes, I'm assuming she'll become more aggressive and become more serious, because they've already mentioned that a few times anyway. It's like she's becoming a lot more aggressive just because she's being such a bitch about not being selfish with her happiness energy. Now, apparently this is animated by Sunrise, which is the same studio that does the Gintama stuff, and the comedy totally crosses over. There's a lot of parodies in the first 3 episodes. The ones I remember off the top of my head is Badaka Box, Dragon Ball Z, Rosario plus Vampire. I think there was just another Dragon Ball Z one. I want to say one of the things in episode 2 is a Reborn parody, but I'm not totally sure. It feels like it is, but maybe it's not. And then in the 3rd episode, we got a Lupin the Third parody, and we got a Tula Root Darkness parody, which I thought was hilarious. That's like 6 fucking animes this thing is parody in the course of like 3 episodes. Which I've enjoyed so far. Like, the comedy's pretty fucking funny. It's ridiculous. Like the way Momoji introduces herself to Sakura is hanging herself in front of Sakura's door in the bathroom. It was the most ridiculous shit. I love these characters, and Funimation dubs this at this point. This is a day one buy. I've only gotten 3 episodes in. I'm pretty fucking sure this is a day one buy for me, because it's just fucking funny and it's cool. And I'm enjoying it. It's good shit. Good shit. But I'm pretty sure this video is run pretty fucking long. I know damn well I'm not gonna put up annotations, so I'm not gonna fucking say I am. But good shit. Good shit. Like the shows. You know, you've got my thoughts for everything. I don't think I'm missing anything in terms of shit I'm watching. No, that's about it. And shit I'm reading. And I guess any personal updates. I am 16 episodes in Clannad. Episode 16 bothers me because if I think what happened in episode 16 of Clannad After Story did, I am going to be like, what the fuck? I won't know until I start 17. But I think it did happen, and in which case, that is fucked up. That bothered me. But for anyone who's seen After Story, go look up episode 16 and tell me if I'm thinking what happened actually did happen. If it did, then fuck me. I know it happens, I just didn't know it happened in episode 16, considering there's like fucking 9 more episodes. It's ridiculous. But yeah, in terms of that's the only thing I'm watching here. I'm waiting for One Piece season 4 to get here, and then I'm also gotta do. I gotta finish Penny Stocking and do Kimi no Todoke season 2. I wanted to finish After Story before I touch anything else. Mind you, After Story doesn't bother me as much, so I don't have to worry about being like mentally fucked the entire time. But good shit, good shit. So this has been the vlogs again from your boy Terrell. I know this has been a long ass video. If you made it to the end of the video, type in goddamn Poverty God. Or just, no, type in Poverty God. Poverty God. Because Binbougami Ga is awesome. Also, that fucking opening's catchy as shit. 1 way, 2 way, 3 way, 4 way, go way, go way, go way. It was like, make my day. This is ridiculous. I like that opening. But anyways, vlogs again from your boy Terrell. Type in Poverty God in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.